Fourth wall in the building. What up, fourth wall? What's going on, man? You good? Yeah, fourth wall. It won't be here too long. But all good, bro. Glad you're doing good, man. All good, brother. Had a topic, but the topic kind of went on the wayside because I got really busy. Egg, what's going on? Egg, I'm not monetized yet, Egg. But if you want to donate, you can donate. The link is in the description at Buy Me a Coffee. But I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, brother. How you doing today? They're trying to push you into the field. I get what you're saying. Bro. All right, let me put a poll question. Egg, if you back out of here, you're not gonna be able to click it here. You have to click it on my profile. You would have to click it on my profile, Egg, and then you'll see the link that says Buy Me a Coffee. Do you deal with chronic fatigue? Yes. No. What's going on, John Peter? What's going on, Nicky Sketch? Oh, what's up, Mike? How you feeling, bro? He said, good morning, Pastor. What's going on, Mike? I already told me that I'd rather stay in my position. Yeah. It'd be like that sometime, you know? It's this cool tank top. To be honest, bro, this just is a regular tank top. It's nothing special, but I appreciate you. I made the jeans I did. I will make a level and geometry dash. And it's about training reflexes. Egg, that sounds pretty cool, Egg. That sounds pretty cool. Not gonna lie, bro. Do you deal with chronic fatigue, guys? John Peter said nothing much. That's what's up, bro. Glad you're doing well, man. Glad your family's doing good too, man. Wifey and everything. But I mean, the whole thing about geometry dash is trains reflexes. That sounds pretty cool, Egg. I would have to kind of like see it to fully know what that looks like. Mike says stuck in the 90s. What do you mean by that? I know, Mike, it might be a loaded question. What do you mean by that? I like to be where my feet are, bro. boy said stuck in the 90s. Chronic fatigue when it comes to people. True. Barbie Savage, how you doing? Basically, you're a cube. How you doing, Barbie Savage? Egg, is that like a game? Is that like a game that you're talking about? I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking. So we're talking a little bit about chronic fatigue, guys. Chronic fatigue. Does everyone in here need? Yeah, Mike. I'm definitely somebody who doesn't follow the trend, so that will be accurate. Does anybody deal with chronic fatigue where they can't function unless they have caffeine? Anybody? Do they need a lot of stimulants in order to feel alive, man? You don't know any games at all? I do know games, but I wouldn't be what you call an everyday gamer. I had those days, you know what I mean? I've had those days where I was an everyday gamer, you know what I'm saying? I've had chronic fatigue. Got it. So we're going to talk a little bit about it. I don't take caffeine unless I absolutely need it. Got you. So when it comes to chronic fatigue, there's a couple things that I learned. I learned that when you're dealing with chronic fatigue, right, there's no cure unless you transform. There you go. Uh, I used to be the person that needed, every day I woke up, I wasn't able to function unless I had some caffeine. You know what I'm saying? Unless I had some caffeine, some stimulant to a certain degree, I wouldn't be able to function. You know what I'm saying? Then I started to learn like there's a lot of reasons as to why you're tired, right? Sometimes you're tired because of the things you give your energy to, the things you give your focus and your attention to. One of the number one reasons why people are tired is because they're either negative or they're around negative people. That's the number one starter of fatigue. You're either negative yourself or you're around too many negative people. That's one of the number one ways to get tired. You're battling the negativity within you, or you're battling the negativity outside of you. That's number one, right? Your surroundings, what you watch on TV, what you listen to, those things predicate your fatigue level. You know what I'm saying? They predicate your fatigue level because if you're giving attention and time and energy towards things that are negative, even a job that's negative. What's good, Ash K? Even a job that's negative. If you go into this job for 15, 20 years and it's negative and all they do is promote negativity, it's going to wear on you over time. It'll wear on you. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. I have coffee before I sleep. Whoa. Wise words. What's up, Chosen? You get tired of people? Yeah, for sure. But this is another thing too. Siddharth, what up? But this is another thing too. Sometimes we don't realize that being in that negative situation, I appreciate you, Siddharth. Being in that negative situation can do one or two things. It can make you bitter or it can make you better. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes what that means is sometimes you can become just as negative as they are because bad company corrupts good character. So sometimes you got to check yourself too and say, hey, have I become negative like these people? Because a lot of times in life, you can become what you hate. The people that you didn't want to be around, you can start to become just like them. And that's what we try to check and make sure that the people that are causing negativity, that we're not becoming negative just like them. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You could be on your job, you could be positive, trying to get the job done, and you got these Debbie Downers always telling you, oh my goodness, life is terrible. We're never going to get better, right? And then over time, you start believing that stuff. You're like, you know what? You're right. We won't get better. You know what I'm saying? You're right. We're not going to get better. Warning, you're right. We won't get better. You're right. We, this how we're feeling is exactly how we should be feeling. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, right? You can't become a part of the toxic environment. You have to create your own environment. You know what I'm saying? That's the number one way to get tired is to be around people that drain your battery. Sidar, if you could relate, shout out to you, Sidar. It's a good thing to have a bad life. It makes you strong. Egg, I think to an extent, right? I don't think we want to stay in a bad life forever. I think we want to grow and eventually grow out of that surrounding so that we can be positive. You know what I mean? We don't want to live a bad life forever. Bad things in life do make you stronger. I will say that. But we don't want to do it forever, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But that's the number one reason that people are tired. It's negative surroundings. You know what I mean? Being around negative people, pessimistic people. Does anybody know the difference between we all want to go for sure? That's what we want with the same mentality. For sure, for sure. You ever try to talk to somebody about something positive? Y'all do me a favor, hit that like button for your boy. I would appreciate that. You ever be around a person and you have a positive outlook on a situation, and no matter how you try to tell that person, they keep shooting it down with something negative. Well, that's what's up, Mike. That sounds like fun. That sounds like love. No matter how much you tell them about the positive outlook on the situation, regardless of how much you tell them, regardless of how much you remind them, they will still find a way to talk about how negative life is, right? That takes energy, that takes time to tell that person every day a positive outlook, being optimistic, right? A pessimistic person will drain your battery. They will drain your battery. You know what I'm saying? And now you got to drink 3 monsters in order to have a good day because the atmosphere is so negative. You know what I'm saying? So, what does that mean? What is the solution for that? We have to limit our interactions with people that are pessimistic. It'll drain your battery. It'll leave you tired, guys. Oh, yeah. It'll leave you super tired. Pessimistic people will leave you super tired. That's number one. All right. That's number one. All right. Number two is stimulation, right? Stimulation. Being overstimulated. I liken being overstimulated to when you have too many apps on your phone or too many apps playing in the background. That's literally how you drain the phone battery. When there's an app on here, an app ready. You ever have that app where you go in and you press close all and it closes all the apps in the background? You know what I mean? You ever have those? Well, guess what? Sometimes you have to close those background apps in your life. Sometimes those background apps in your life are draining your battery. What are background apps in your life? I'm glad you asked. The background apps in your life are the distractions, the things that keep you going, but they don't keep you growing. You know what I'm saying? You can keep going and not growing. You know what I mean? So what does that look like? That goes from the things that we may watch, the shows we may watch, you know what I mean? That just keep us busy, but don't keep us growing. Some of those things are just keeping us busy, but not exactly making us better, right? And that's the key to the whole thing. We want to keep going, but we also want to keep growing. Let me see. Egg says the thing I hate about myself is when I'm in a fight, I always hold back because I don't want to hurt anyone. I just can't stop holding back. Well, I totally understand it. You're afraid of your own strength. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? You're afraid of your own strength. I get it. I understand it. Right? So we got to eliminate some of the distraction, guys. Some of the things that keep us going but not growing. We got to eliminate those distractions. All right. That's number one. How do we eliminate it? By spending more time on things that make us better. That's how we eliminate it. Spending more time on things that make us better. All right. That's number one. So the distractions, the things playing in the background that don't make us better, those are the things that we want to limit so that we're not so tired. We're not so chronically fatigued that we can't function unless we have 3 or 4 monsters in the morning. I mean, that's number one. Stay away from negative people, eliminate the distractions. That's number one. Number two is hydration. Number two is hydration, right? How are you hydrated, right? Drink your water, but also eat hydrating foods. Hydrating foods will give you hydration. What are hydrating foods? Fruits, vegetables. Limiting processed foods. Why processed foods? I'll tell you why. Processed foods are full of salt and preservatives that dry out your electrolytes. You feel me? As soon as I start talking about processed foods, 10 people left. They're like, listen, this guy was talking good until he started touching my Tostino's pizza rolls. He was talking good till he started touching my pizza rolls. He was good up until then. But the processed foods are going to make you thirsty. All right. And for the most part, we're eating or drinking a lot of foods that are dehydrating. What's going on, C7? How you doing, brother? Watermelon. Yes, watermelon definitely has hydration. Ken G's, what's going on? How you feeling? So eating more hydrating foods is very, very helpful. Okay. Electrolytes. Okay. Electrolytes are necessary. Now, when we talk about hydration, I think some people uh, may misconstrue that you don't need salt. I think you need salt, but I think salt in the form of literal Himalayan salt is much better than the salt or the sodium that you see inside of processed foods. Big difference, guys. You know what I'm saying? So another way to battle chronic fatigue is to stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Why? There's many ways to hydrate. You could eat your hydration. You could drink your hydration. Okay. But another way to stay or keep from being dehydrated is don't let people or negative people in your mental space. That will dehydrate you mentally and spiritually. When you let negative people in your mental space, that will dehydrate you mentally and spiritually. So we got the natural hydration and we got the mental hydration. Okay. We hitting it both sides, baby. Welcome to the Breakfast Club, where we eat breakfast, but we also eat wisdom. Let's go. What's the best way to train your reflexes? I mean, there's many different ways. Um, you could do the ball drill. Um, they actually have a tool, a reflex tool, um, where when something there's like a machine and it beeps, and when it beeps, you have to hit the button to train your reflexes. It's like your mind and also your body kind of like lining up and doing it at the same time. I seen it at a football camp, so that's one way. Boxing is another way. But check it. When it comes to hydration, you want to be hydrated in your mind, your body, but you also need mental hydration. Stay away from the people that are sucking the life out of you. When people suck the life out of you, guess what? That leads to mental and spiritual dehydration, guys. You know what I mean? Malik K, what's going on? Can you buy it in Georgia? I don't even know what the machine is called, bro. It's just something I seen at the Eagles football camp. Appreciate you, Malik K. Um, yeah, dodging punches is reaction, Egg. You know what I mean? So if you're boxing, they even have that one where when you punch it, it comes back to you. That's a real good reflex one. You're punching, and as you punch, it comes back, and you have to move your head as you punch. That's another good one for reflexes. You can get that on Amazon, bro. But yeah, that's the two ways we're gonna battle chronic fatigue. Okay, guys, we're gonna stay away from negative people. I call them battery drainers. You want to limit the battery drainers in your life. You want to limit those. Okay, and then you want to spend time with people that are keeping things positive and that are keeping things pushing, even if that's by yourself sometimes. Even if that's by yourself sometimes. You got to learn to be okay with you until you can find your tribe, guys. Don't settle because you're lonely. Hello. Don't settle because you're lonely. Sometimes you got to be lonely so that you can grow sometimes. Don't go in a room full of people because it's a crowd because you don't want to be lonely. If it's negative, it's not helping you, it's hurting you. Let's go. Hey, love, AI explains. Much love back from America, bro. Or even the arcade, the dancing thing where you got to step on a square that lights up. What do you mean? What do you mean, Akshay? I'm sorry. Tell me what you mean. I'm sorry. But you understand? So we're going to stay away from the negative people. Hey, much love right back to you, C7. We're going to limit the negative people. Okay. And then we're going to also stay hydrated. How do we stay hydrated? By trying to limit the dehydrating processed foods, right? We're going to try to limit the dehydrating processed foods, right? And then we're going to eat our hydration, more fruits and vegetables, electrolytes. If you got to add electrolytes to your water, start doing that. That way you stay hydrated. Akshay, explain. Sorry, I was responding to the reflex. Okay, I got you. We're going to eat and drink more hydrating foods. Okay, more fruits, more vegetables, more berries in our diet. Right. This way we can ensure that. This way we can ensure that we are getting the hydration that the body needs. Okay, that's what we're going to do to battle chronic fatigue. Okay, so that's one, that's two. Okay, and then another thing we're going to do to battle chronic fatigue is we're going to, this is number three, we're going to eat foods that are nutrient dense, guys. That's what we're going to do. We're going to eat foods that are nutrient dense. What does that mean? Foods that give me nutrition. I need to eat more whole foods because the whole foods are going to give me what I need in order to be able to use my body to the best of my ability. if I'm eating foods that don't give me nutrients, right? Like for instance, you could eat a bag of chips and feel okay, or you could drink a Capri Sun and you feel all right for a little bit, right? But you're gonna be hungry and you're gonna be thirsty again because you didn't get any nutrient density from the foods. Why is the chat not okay? I see. Okay, perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nutrient dense foods. Okay? Nutrient dense food. Let's see how many in this serving of berries. You got 1 cup of berries. 1 cup of berries is 70 calories, zero added sugars, okay? 17 grams of carbohydrates, okay? But guess what? The antioxidants in this joint, the hydration from the berries, is top tier. You know what I'm saying? So that's a nutrient dense food. It's not packed with calories, it's packed with nutrients, guys. So this is why I drink this every morning, because it's packed with nutrients. You know what I mean? It's packed with nutrients. So we want to eat nutrient dense foods. We want to eat hydrating foods. Why? Because we're battling chronic fatigue. Okay? When I drink caffeine, I used to drink caffeine and I used to eat less. Well, guess what? I would be stimulated, but I wouldn't be fueled. Caffeine does not fuel you. Caffeine just tells you you're not tired. Caffeine just cuts off your receptors that tell you that you're tired. So you're like, oh my goodness, I'm pumped. But you're not really pumped. You just feel you just don't feel tired because the caffeine's not able to tell your body that you're tired. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I'm hyped this morning. You hyped? Why you hyped, bro? What happened, man? So step 3 would be eating more nutrient dense foods. Eating more nutrient dense foods. What does that look like? Eating more fruits, eating more veggies. If you're not a vegetarian, eat your meat, eat your lean proteins. Another reason why there's chronic fatigue is because we're protein deficient, guys. Akshay, stimulated versus fueled. Big difference. Big difference in being stimulated versus fueled. I used to think it was the same. So I would just drink my caffeinated beverage and I wouldn't even need to eat half the time. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, we at the bottom of this right here, man. It's sad, right? We're at the bottom of this right here. We're at the bottom of it. I gotta re-up. And that's sad. This is finished. But somebody say thank God for Amazon Prime. Because we got it in here yesterday. Let's go. As this was running out, Amazon saved the day, baby. I got a good joke about Amazon. I'm gonna put it in the YouTube short though. Yeah, Amazon saved the day, Trav. Failed 245 2 weeks ago, hit 245. Hey, let's go. Let's go, Trav Ramsey. Let's go. Yeah, Amazon saved the day, man. I got a funny joke about Amazon. I'm gonna make a YouTube short on it. It's gonna be funny. Yeah, Amazon saved the day, bro. The product was like $24.99. So I was able to pop that joint in there because it was same day delivery. So I just added something that was same day delivery. And Amazon saved the day for your boy. That's why I just try to stay ready so I ain't got to get ready already. I might be back. I don't know. Okay, you got it, Fourth Wall. Appreciate you stopping by, man. By the way, if you're new here, thank you for stopping in at the Breakfast Club, where we eat breakfast, but we also eat wisdom. Let's go. All right, so I got this. I'm going to blend this up. But chronic fatigue, guys. We're limiting negative people. We're limiting negative people, places, and things. We're limiting that. You know what I mean? That goes for everybody. We're limiting that. And we're putting more time and emphasis into positive things, positive people, right? And when it comes to negativity, that even goes for ourselves. If we notice that we're being negative, we got to work on ourselves, yo. Oh yeah. If we notice that we're being negative, we got to work on ourselves too. Sometimes it ain't everybody else. Sometimes it's us. If we're being honest, sometimes we can be in negative places for so long, we become a part of our environment. It's the truth, y'all. It can happen. You might disagree with that. Can negative environments make you negative? Do you think negative environments can make the person that wasn't negative become negative? Is that possible? What y'all think? I think it's very possible. You know, when I died, I was angry. Yeah, you definitely will be. That's a fact. That is 100% factual, guys. But that's what we try to do. Product of environment for sure. So this is why, uh, we try to make a change in our environment if possible. If not, we have to make a change within. He said more people need to hear it, but I guess the question is how can you get yourself to control your diet when you're fatigued? I guess advising people becomes easy. Um, how do you get people to control their diet when they're fatigued? Well, most of the time, it's their diet that's causing the fatigue. Actually, most of the, I guess, avoiding people becomes easy. Uh, yeah. So I think most of the people that are tired is because of their diet and their sleep quality. You know, um, diet, sleep quality, all those things play a major role in giving energy to the body. So if I have poor sleep quality, which I did by the way, I'm not. I had really bad sleep, guys, and I had to work on it. I had to do some sleep testing. I had to lower my screen time before bed. I had to change up my diet, foods that were making me not function my best self. I had to limit caffeine. Caffeine was doing more harm than it was doing good. So I had to quit caffeine. I mean, I went through a whole lot, yo. I went through a whole lot um, in this battle. This was not an easy battle at all. But I tell you what, it's so worth it. And I'm still battling. I'm still trying to optimize and get better. The reality is, you got to be honest with your diet. Where your diet is. You got to be honest with a couple of things so that you could see the light. Because I tell you what, it doesn't go away just because you push it away. It's one of those things that just keep rearing its ugly head regardless. Of course, C7. Um, it goes for any and everybody. I think the fatigue is coming from the overstimulation. You guys remember when Duncan came out with the slogan that America runs on Duncan? You guys remember that? Do you guys remember America runs on Duncan? Anybody remember that slogan? America runs on Duncan. And then they started selling the the big community. They started selling the big community coffee jugs. People come up and they would fill up their mug with, that nice cup. Well, there was a lot being said in America Runs on Dunkin'. It was letting us know that, hey, you guys need to be stimulated in this way in order to handle the workload, in order to handle your day to day life. Runs on sugar. You got that right, Diesel, right? So, what it did is it taught us to always be on the go, 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 go. If you're not going hard, you're not living. And what happened is people started dropping like flies. They were stimulated, they were oversaturated with sugar, poor rest, and processed foods. That's a recipe for disaster for us. If we're running on sugar, caffeine, processed foods, and poor sleep, we're crashing and burning, guys. And we ain't burning calories, we just crashing and burning. We're running on fumes. You feel me? So I think it was important for us to evaluate, am I hydrated? Can I only run on caffeine? How is my sleep quality? How is my diet quality? And you start working on yourself, not all at once. I don't tell people to do things cold turkey. Pick one of those things and work on that one thing first. There's a good book called The One Thing, guys. It talks about focusing on that one thing before you can focus on another thing. Very powerful when you focus on the one thing and then you work from there. You know what I mean? The one thing. All right, let's see. Yeah, so when they put that campaign out that America Runs on Duncan, uh, it was just letting us know, that we had to really, really, really chug down a bunch of coffee. I used to be one of them. I wake up in the morning. I wouldn't make no smoothie, man. I'd make me a nice cup of Joe, just one, and I would hit that cup of Joe, and I would feel electric, right? Well, guess what? All it was doing was masking my poor sleep. It was masking my wishy-washy diet, and it wasn't hydrating me. I get up and I do this because this is hydrating for me. You got the fruits, you got the beet powder, which is good for blood flow. Get up and nourish your body rather than stimulating it. I recently kicked sugar and I had diesel. Yes, you will have those symptoms from kicking sugar. That's a fact. Caffeine is even worse. Kicking caffeine is even worse, man. It's not easy, y'all. Kicking the caffeine can be even worse. Just look up that book. I'm getting it. Act Shay. Let me know what you think about it. The one thing. How to lock in and focus on the one thing. So we talked about three things. We talked about getting from around negative people and negative environments, right? We talked about hydrating yourself. Hydrating yourself is very good for chronic fatigue. Don't just look for stimulants, look for hydration in your food and also in your drinks, okay? And also, the last thing that we talked about was eating more nutrient dense foods, giving your body the fuel that it needs so that it can sleep better, so that it can operate better in the gym or just on your job or just with your family around the crib. With all that being said, try one thing out first. Start with the one thing first, and then you can work on the other areas when you start to maximize and capitalize on that one thing. Okay, guys? Listen, I have to cut it short today because I'm a little behind on what I got to be doing. But I appreciate you coming by the Breakfast Club where we talk and we eat breakfast, but we also eat wisdom. Listen, if you got something out of today, leave a like, leave a follow, and I'll see you guys also in Discord. But leave a like, leave a follow. I'll see you on the next one. I appreciate you. Grow gang. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself, let's go. Let's grow. Let's go. Let's grow, baby. I see you on the next one. Peace.